Okay, back on Project Pegasus. Here we go. So I said we were gonna fix this, and started to. Would film the whole thing, but it gets pretty repetitive after a while when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. I'm sure I'll save you guys the time. You got better things to do with your life. So I got 2 wires left. Both of them happen to be gray, and they were both already cut. So looking at the factory service manual, one of these wires is supposed to be a 12-volt switched light source, and one of them is for the left front speaker. You would think it'd be easy. Just turn on the power, put a positive lead to a voltmeter on one of these wires, the other end to ground, see which one has power. That's obviously your light switch. Unfortunately, the interior lights in this car don't work. I'm not sure if it's a dimmer switch or a headlight switch yet, so we're going to work on that. But in the meantime, I'd like to get this all done and wrapped up, at least put the cover plate back in here. So the only other way we can figure of doing this is taking the speaker out up here. I've already pulled the cover, so get that out of the way. Kind of stash that to the side. Pulled a couple screws out already, but we're going to pull this speaker out. Hopefully the factory connector is still in here. Bonus stuffs. And put a ohm meter from the gray wire to here to one of the ones down there, and we'll see which one of these it's supposed to be. So let's get this thing out of here. Let's see what we can find. Hopefully we won't find any more, I don't know, surprises. But this is what happens when you buy a car that's not new. It's been around. Many people have had their hands in it, I'm sure. Still has the OEM speaker in it, which is kind of a surprise, really. Oh, we still have another one. Did that one not come out? No, it's out. How's it stuck? Wasn't that special? Ha! Well, not sure if you can catch this on camera, but you can see through the speaker all the way around it. Typical of speakers that are this old, the foam just rots out, especially from the sun and the UV hitting it all the time. So these are going to be replaced. We won't be using these. Hey, and look at that. The original part number for the original Pontiac speakers. I'm surprised this thing's been on there as long as it has, but yeah, it's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see through it up and through here. You can see through it. There's no more cone. These would have sounded horrendous even if they did function. So we'll be replacing those. That'll be in a future episode. Get that out of the way. Okay, so there it is. There's one of the gray wires we're looking for. One of those connects down there. So we're going to take a meter here. We'll put that 20K. That's fine. That's good enough. Actually, we could just go to diode test. At least that'll give us a beepy beepy. Come on, get that out of there. Okay, so we want to go to a gray wire here. I can get that to stick. Good enough. And then down here. Okay, so apparently camera issues. So we connected it to here, going to my backup multimeter because I didn't feel like getting my fluke out. So we put this on diode test, and we are now going to go to both of these wires, and we have 2, obviously. So it's a 50-50 shot. Hey, look at that. So that one obviously connected. That is not. So that one is our lighting source. This one is our speaker wire. So just like I was showing in the last video, we're going to do this the same way. I'd love to get my soldering iron out here, but it's just kind of not feasible right now. So we're going to do this the next best way, which, funny enough, I believe is a GM approved method for splicing wires. And I believe it's in the shop manual. I'm not sure. It's been a while. The wiring I've done over the years. So, and you always switch those to the opposite side so it gives it some tensile strength. I already put some heat shrink on here. That's the ultimate way to keep this covered and protected. We're going to put that there. Bring out the handy overkill torch for this job. Shrink that sucker right down. Shut that off. Try not to kill anybody. Alright, and then this, I believe I already got the tang. Yeah, the tang is out. And the speaker wire. And so many cavities in here, it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to keep it so you can see it. But right there is where this one goes. So we'll put that until it clicks. It's in there. Good to go. So there's that, which means this one obviously has to be the other one. GM typically doesn't do too many where they use the same color wire on the same circuit, or at least in the same, well, kind of the same circuit, I guess. It's all for the radio. They usually keep everything separate with black tracers. Sometimes they don't have tracers at all, solid wires. This time, not so much. 2 gray wires in the same circuit. So, had everything worked with the light switch, I could have just checked voltage. So that'll be another episode. Get those kind of folded flat, so you can kind of see them. Pull it back up again. Come on, get up on there. Take that all the way up. And grab the overkill torch. Shut that off. There it is. Now the tang is out. There's a lock tang right there. This is what locks it into this connector. And it goes right there. So now they are all locked in. Somewhere around in this mess of stuff that has been thrown around today is the actual pin that goes in the center. Let's see if I can get this in there without blocking view of everything that you need to see. Just kind of an extra lock. You've already got all the original lock tangs, but then you've got this too. There we go, click, click. Wires are all in, it's all sturdy, it's all connected back up, factory wires, nothing's been hacked. So now we can put the factory radio back in, or anything else. You can adapt to this connector, standard GM. They ran it from the 70s to the early 90s, I think, late 80s, something like that. Anyway, that's how you do that. So, on to the next project. Okay, another project this thing's got among the long list of 100,000 things to do is, if you'll notice in one of our last episodes, we ran a scan on this because the check engine light was on. It does idle high, so it has an intake air temperature sensor showing negative 40 degrees. It's not anywhere near that cold out here, so we're going to change that sender. Hopefully that's the problem, or it's unplugged, one of the two, we'll see. But that is under the left rear vent, so I've already undone the screw. Just lift the vent, there we go, pull that out of there, put that in the trunk. And down here, on the side of the air cleaner, is the intake air temperature sensor. So get my finger in there and unplug it. There we go. So, and it does have the correct connector on it, so that's good, unlike the last one. So the one we're going to be using, Standard Motor Products again, not sponsored by the way. And there's your part number. I'll go ahead and pop this one out. You're going to need a 3/4 wrench. Open-end wrench is going to be the easiest way to get in there. Down it from this angle. Oh yeah, that's in there too. Probably the original. Now, if I remember right, this is not where it was originally installed when these cars were originally released. This is part of a recall where they moved it. I could be wrong. I heard they had this originally in the intake tube, and they moved it to here. Looks a little rough. Make sure it matches the other one. Okay, so that looks, that's how it matches. Pretty good. Same connector, same style. So I'll toss the old one in there. Once again, if you're looking for one for an 87 GT, there's part number. I'm sure any parts store can hook you up. Should be able to order you a new one. It's gonna be tough to see with my big meats in the way, and I can't see what I'm doing from this angle anyway. So, oh, where's it at? Right there, maybe. Come on, catch a thread. There you go. Make sure always start them by hand. Do not start cranking things in with a wrench or a socket wrench, because you never know. You don't want to cross thread something. It's in there, so they already come with thread locker or thread sealant on them, so you don't have to do anything. It's kind of nice. I've never had an issue with standard stuff or the Borg Warner stuff. I kind of like both of that as far as aftermarket. There we go. Got it nice and snugged. And connector. Of course, it's now in a different orientation. Hard to get in there when you can't see what you're doing. Yes, it is. Cool. And that's that. See that? Another project done. Like I said before, this is all stuff that anybody can do. Just a couple minutes of your time, some hand tools. Not a problem. Now, yeah, the scan tool might be a little different, but you can always rent those too. So, yep, okay, on to the next project. Okay, so we decided we can't just leave it where you slap a sensor and walk away, because that seemed kind of silly to me. So, hooked up my scan tool back to it, plugged everything back in, and you can see manifold air temperature. That's correct. We are no longer at the negative 40 degrees. We have one more code. Idle has come way down. Actually, I should be able to see, you can see it right there. It's come way down from what it was. It's still in open loop, as far as I know. Let's see. Spark mass, it is lean. I think we have a manifold absolute pressure sensor issue. So that'll be next on the list, is to see if it's an actual sensor, or if it's in the wiring, or if there's another issue. But yeah, that one right there, that said negative 40 before. Now we're reading, and the idle has come down. It does seem to be running a little smoother, other than that spark plug that seems to be having a conniption. It's got a little ticky going on. Well, it's also an anti-carjacking device, so someone wanted to grab that spark plug while you were running. I mean, it'll bite you. It'll let you know. So, but anyway, yeah, there we go. And it's starting to climb. So we're good. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll figure out the map sensor problem, or the map issue. We'll go into that, and we'll figure out what's going on with there, and move on with life. So yep, on to the next one. See you soon. Man, all that work we're doing, this is crazy. Oh, well, thank God we have the official Fiero hood prop. Look at that. It even says it on there. If you look close enough, it's even got a little trademark logo. That way you know it's official. Besides, can the non-official ones, can you remove them and put them on the opposite side of the deck? No. No, you can't. Get yours today. officialfieroproprod.com. All right, back on Black Knight Garage, Project Pegasus. So, not sure if we mentioned this in another video or not, but this car did not have any illumination for its dash lights, the cigarette lighter light, the gear selector light, HVAC lights, gate auxiliary pod lights. Nothing has functioned on this car since I got it. So, took the switch out. The switch feels a little funky. Plus, this plate was broken, so I had to order another one of those. I'll get one of those coming. But, coming to find out, when you pull out the dimmer in here, if you can see it, there is a tap that had a white wire attached to it. I'm like, that's a little odd. Plus, there was a wire I found connected to the brake light switch. So I started pulling these covers off, and we find this mess. This disaster. With a bunch of cut wires on it, of course, because, you know, whatever they did apparently didn't work. So, and here's that white wire hanging that was attached to the interior lamp circuit. And then we have all of these inline taps, which kind of makes me wonder, did this thing have an alarm system on it at one point? Maybe? And somebody just chopped it and left all the wires? Not sure. So I'm going to remove this ground they put on there and get this mess out of there. Put some of these wires, as many as I can get back to stock. Remove all of their broken stuff and see what else we find. Hopefully there won't be too many more surprises, but it seems like every time I pull screws off this car, I find more surprises. So, but hey, nature of the beast. I'll see what we can find. Stay tuned. Okay, from that to this. So, for those of you who don't know, this is the piece that goes on the side of the seat here that covers the hinge for the retract, or the recline lever. These are typically broken. It also has that little hook that holds the seat belt. So we're gonna try to get the seat out. Hopefully these bolts will break loose, because it looks like the two original screws are still in there from the original piece. Whatever happened to that piece? Yeah, who knows? Okay, let's see if this will work. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. I like when bolts come off the way they're supposed to. A lot of times you'll see these and they're just kind of rotted. Kind of indicative of sometimes of a lot of water getting inside a car, sunroof, T-tops, typical. But these ones are coming off so far. Yeah, there we go. See if I can get my hands up in there. Not the easiest thing to do in a car that doesn't have back seats. But sure enough, it's coming right off. Might clean those up too. Those are a little rusty. Okay, the front ones, have to retract the seat all the way back and completely exposed. This one looks a little crunchy. There we go. Let's hope that this thing doesn't snap. Nope. There it goes. That's good. Cool. Looks a little rough, but came off. That's the important thing here. Yeah, that one looks good too. Oh, that one's a little loose. Oh, that's even better. Cool. Should be able to take the seat out and see if we can get this piece on there. Be right back. And there it is. 2 screws. Didn't want to bore anybody with just unscrewing a screw. I know. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? It's custom. So, 1 screw there. 1 screw here. Still got to tighten this one up yet. I just kind of put it on. There is a hook under this built into the plastic that kind of comes in and goes under. You got to make sure. Not sure you can see it in there. But it does hook into a metal tab that kind of locks the top half in place so it doesn't kind of flap out. So easy to do. Fiero store had them in stock. Got them real quick. Very inexpensive. From what I understand, a lot of these cars, either this is broken off or this whole plate's missing. So easy to do. I left this broken piece on there of the original, so you get an idea of the color match. And depending on the sunlight hitting it, it's pretty much right on. I don't think anybody's even going to notice a difference on it. Plastic feels, I don't know, a little harder maybe than original GM plastic, but that just might mean it will last longer, which we're hoping for. So I'm going to clean these tracks up, get them greased, so I don't want to put it back in like this. Typical of GM seats, especially from the 80s, third gens for sure, your Camaros, your Firebirds, TA, stuff like that. Under here on the driver's side, you would sometimes find the original build sheet stuffed into these. I don't see it in this one. I'll pull the driver's side one here in a little bit and we'll take a look at that, but I'm not sure if on the P-bodies they did that or not. Guess we'll find out. Pretty special. I see that coming out of the seat. That's okay. We're going to end up recovering these seats anyway in a future episode, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, the seat's back together. I'll get that back in. It's already paid me back a couple bucks and change, which is pretty sweet. Now if we can just find, you know, a few $1,000 bills up in here, we'll be all right, right? You can always hope. Chances of that are slim to none. So pulled that mess out there. Still not sure if it was from probably an alarm system, maybe a remote start module, not sure. It's a mess for sure, and apparently it must have failed at some point because instead of unplugging it, you know, as a connector, they just chopped it. Pretty sweet. Got rid of all that though. I found a screw. That doesn't belong to this. Guess we'll get rid of that. Put some garbage in here. So yeah, it's getting there. Did find the, oh, yep, look at this. Stereo is in, functions, it works. Everything's good there, no issues. Did find what the problem was with the interior lights not illuminating, and that was all of them other than the dome light, which has always worked. But anything that was powered by the dimmer or the park light switch, no cluster illumination, nothing there. Radio didn't. The automatic indicator wasn't illuminating. So we found that. And it was actually, thank God, a lot simpler than it needed to be. So instead of being the switch, which is going to be replaced because that one looks a little rough. So if you can see up in here, it is this fuse here, instrument lamps. This was missing completely. Plugged it back in and immediately, which is kind of cool by the way, there's spare fuses here. Let's click that back in place, put that back in, and immediately got all the lights working, no issues. Don't know why it was removed. Who knows, maybe it had something to do with that alarm or remote start module, whatever the hell it was, not sure. But yeah, there's that. Still gotta do the speaker. I'm gonna order that still. And then, you know, a lot of people don't know, Fieros do have cup holders. They're right here. You just slap it there, fits right in, no problem. Don't know why anybody complains about a cup holder. So there you go. Getting there. One step closer to getting back on the road the way it should be. That's where cars are meant to be, on the road. Not just sitting around in the driveway. Or as you all too often hear, parked in somebody's yard and, oh, I'm going to fix it someday. And it just sits there and rots to the ground. So this thing was meant to be on the road, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to get it back on the road, piece by piece. Yeah, just noticed a crack. Guess I'll be buying another one of those. Be getting a hold of Fiero store. They are going to love this car. So, yeah, we're getting there. So I do the speaker, headliner, obviously, all the interior stuff. A lot of cosmetics. This project's at least partially done. I'm going to vacuum all this stuff up. Try to save the carpets if I can. If not, we'll go a different route. I just wish somebody was making this exact grain carpet, because I really do like it in this. It's pretty unique, pretty heavy duty. I'm just hoping I may have to just tear this out of here and try to pressure wash it. Maybe I'll get lucky and get at least, hey, if I can get half of it out, that'd be great. But I'm gonna try to get it all out, clean this up in here, and get the seat back in it. But yeah, coming along. Join us on the next episode. And of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz, so we can keep doing what we're doing. Hopefully this will help somebody else out there. See you soon, guys.